Well, hello everybody. Uh, we got morning here. Afternoon is starting on the East Coast. Uh, Evening is starting in the EU. We got folks from Australia are starting tomorrow. So, in some ways, what do we got? Paul says he's in first this morning. If he means by the fact that tomorrow morning, he's right. So, but it turns out that Ben and Jurgen both were in here with a message before he did. And then we got Sully, and we got Jurgen, and of course, let's see, Paul is the one that said he was in here first. And Steven, welcome everybody. I got a fire in the forge. Why? Well, because this is a smithing channel after all, so you would hope that at some point some smithing gets done. But the reason I had to start a fire in there is I'm being lazy and stupid too. I just heated up the wrong side. Let's fix that. I'll explain in a second. The fact of the matter is, I just found my my hacksaw. That's how little I've used it. I just found it this weekend while I was cleaning up. I had bought, or I should say, my wife had bought me a new tool chest last Father's Day. That's how long it's been since I went looking for something like this. And most of my stuff has been transferred over to the new toolbox, but some of my stuff is still over in the old one. And that's where it turned out the hacksaw was. But why hacksaw? Well, as a friendly reminder, I am working on turning that into a dragon scale middle. We're not going to call it a handle. Middle. And the easiest way to deal with the fact that I can't do that effectively right now will be because I don't want to pull out the hacksaw, and the let's see if I can actually think three-dimensionally. The porta band I have, tiny little porta band I have, has a guard I can't actually remove. I looked into it. So I have to straighten out one of I have to straighten out my curly cue to make it do what I want to. So, sharp eyes out there might have noticed that instead of pointing at my anvil up in the top left corner, I'm pointing at a box, a very small section of the box. So I'm going to focus on that for a second. Well, that was a big old block of text, and look, it looks like it actually made it in. That got lucky. Let's see, what was that ball of text? Well, I'm relaxing, Ben, I'm relaxing before the dreaded force everything into the back of the Jeep to move more tools to the new place. You need a house with a big garage, but got a smaller house. Well, at least you got a bigger garage. Now you got some area to work in, right? Welcome to the pub. Bring your favorite drink. We drink whenever we feel like it, but of course, anytime I drop something is a good time as well. My favorite drink at the moment is agua. Okay, what is with this box? Let's take a closer look, shall we? Hey, look. I'm being very suspicious and not showing you my address, even though it's probably easy to find. Uh, there's something from Christ-Centered Ironworks. What could it be? I can tell you this. It was marked as 5 pounds. It was not 5 pounds. I can up the sound. 1 second. I'm going to lower it back down a little bit. Let's see. The sound. You know what it is? It's that my mic is not central. Let me make my mic central, and then it won't be a problem. Now my mic is central. The question is, when I start hitting things, is that going to be a problem? We'll see. There we go. Hopefully the sound is now where it needs to be. So, pull back. Come on. I already did. Okay. This, my friends, is what it looks like. Well, except for the fact that I took and pulled out all the paper that I can use as fire starter to get the treadle hammer kit with air assist from Christ-Centered Ironworks. It is a lot of heavy metal, including chains and quick links and bolts and all this fancy stuff that he's cutting out with his plasma cutter. And of course the 2 additional pieces that he's figured out exactly where all these things need to go. Has great videos out there for those of us who make the purchase to understand where to put all the things. And next thing for me to do, because I am not by trade somebody who works in a shop, is actually go and buy an air compressor. And so I've got one at Harbor Freight that I'm going to go get. It's their quiet line. So hopefully it's not too noisy. I'm going to try to put it someplace where the noise can be contained so it doesn't disrupt the work in here when I'm on a live stream. And then I will have my own personal striker, because, yeah, I don't have any of those. And I need to go and get, let's see, the air compressor. I need to go get another sledgehammer, because I'm not going to put my current sledgehammer in here, I don't think. I might. It might be, it might stand in for a little bit anyway. And then when I discover I do actually need another sledgehammer, I'll go ahead and decide if I go buy another one or take the one I have in here out. And then the other thing, as I've talked about, is trying to figure out where I'm going to put the darn thing. There's a part of me that says I just need to move my quench tank to the other corner of my shop, because you never really have to quench real fast, right? And then stand it up in the corner over there. But a corner is also a problematic situation unless I sink a post. So it may very well be that I sink a post and then I can stand this thing up. So, yeah. No. If you're trying to chase out John, we cannot have talk about the forbidden condiment here. Not unless I bring out the skillet and some bacon. All right. I like John being in my live stream. I have so few viewers as it is. Where the hell am I putting this heavy box? All right, I gotta clear off some space. Oh, it'll be right there for now. It's a flat surface. That means it's where things go. We all know this, right? It is known. It is the way. We need to straighten it. We need to move it. Get it central. Nope. There we go. And then we can zoom. And we can set something there so it can actually focus on it. Hey, look at that. Hunky-dory. Now, next step. We'll go back over here. That's funny how it turned out to not be as straight. There we go. I see why. It's just not stable. Now it's stable. Hey, Kevin. Let's see who else we got here. So in between all my talking, we got Jeff showed up here. We got Shane showed up here. We got John showed up here. I don't know if I called out Rob yet, but if I didn't, hey Rob. You know, I'm watching it right now. I've got a notification for blacksmiths tools on Craigslist within a 75-mile radius. It turns out pretty much everything is further away than I anticipated. We have Smiths here in Seattle, which is much closer than me having to go out to like Port Orchard or something. But it doesn't seem like any of them are getting out of their business anytime soon. So a 20-pound sledge will work in that thing, huh? I've been wondering about that. Doyle's a middle name, huh? Cool. All right, let's get this thing warm. Turns out I had a lot more coal laying around than I thought. There was still another couple of months worth of coal sitting in the bottom of the bag. To make it that heavy, you have to have a second spring. But the air assist still works perfectly fine? Or do you not use the air assist? So Shane, is your call sign short round? All right. So what I'm doing here, I'm not overheating it. I'm gonna go ahead and get my wacky no marky. We'll just go ahead and, oh my goodness, that side fell out. We'll fix that later. Straighten this out. Why straighten it out? Because then it's out of my, it's basically a discourteous bend at the moment. So let's get it back in the fire in a way that I'm not causing myself difficulty. There we go. And it looks like I need to tighten up my there we go. We'll just give it a different direction to be squished in. Do derpy things. There we go. Back in. Same amount of work. Okay, that's good to know. I understand it's just a trampoline spring, so finding one of those shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, if you need to get your aggression out, hitting that like button's a good way to go. That goes for you there, Alexis. I heard your story. Stupid people and their rules. All right, now, not that it needs to be perfectly straight, but Might as well get it close so that when I go to curl it again, it's not twisted in any weird way. All right. A little twisted, but we'll deal with that in a little bit. In the meantime, now we can give it a quench and finish the cuts. Yep. My quench tub, it's been warm, unseasonably warm here this spring for the last week and a half, such that my quench barrel, is low by a foot of water, so it's not hot, but yeah, there we go. All right. Now we're just going to cover up that charcoal that's in there, preserve that heat, because I'm not going to be in that fire much for a while here. We should seven-inch trampoline spring. Okay, got it. Yes. Yeah, what are you up to, John? Yeah, fortunately the cool is back. Today it is a nice, cool, what, 60? Oh, 55 right now. I like it that way, personally. And let's see, we need to switch over here. I knew there was something I was trying to do. That's the view. Is that the view I want? Well, you're not getting that view. It's too far away. You're getting that view. That's the one. Let's see if my arm gets in the way. Let's go ahead and get this. This one should be easy. I'm just going to mark these real fast. You can see. Yep. Should be easy to eyeball most of this. Now that I've got it done on multiple sides. Okay. As we all know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. That's the biggest problem I have in life is trying to deal with the fact that things don't have to be perfect. They just have to be done. All right. Let's just, yeah, that looks about right. Then over here to right about there. The fact is, you get one side done if you got the things in the right angles, correct angles. Let's make sure we're accurate in our statement. Then the cuts go through where they need to anyway. Like that one's, there we go. that. None of this actually matters. It just gives me a goal to shoot for. In the long run, once we twist it, it'll look good no matter how the cuts come out. That's what I learned last time for working on Thomas's. There we go. Oh, somebody's got... Hey, Siri, what's 55 degrees Fahrenheit and Celsius?
55 degrees Fahrenheit is 12.78 degrees Celsius.
You probably didn't hear that, but we're just under 13 degrees Celsius. My goodness, 77 degrees. That's where we were at yesterday during the nice part of the day. Yeah, I don't care for the summer business. I mean, we do have the best summers in the country here. I have to say that, but they've been a bit brutal for the last few years. Somebody turned on that global warming thing again. All right. As I've do pretty much every live stream, I'll say again, don't do what I do without understanding what you're doing, risks-wise. In other words, have a tourniquet ready. Or a couple of nurses in your household who are ready to help you out. All right. Now that I have this out of the way, I should be able to make all these cuts without interruption. Get it upright. Now, I'll say it again, for anybody who hasn't been paying attention, you can do this with a hacksaw. Personally, I think it would be a lot harder to do getting an angle cut with a hacksaw. But it can be done. There's one, and that's why you don't have to worry about all of the marking. Yep, and there went the tip of that one. Just snapped right off. What you do have to do is make sure that you've got your diamond going on. In other words, your opposite corners are perpendicular to the cutting plane. Or I should say, I said that wrong. Your top and bottom corners are parallel to the cutting plane. It's not the easiest thing to do. And if anybody's going to ask, yeah, I forgot to order a new bandsaw blade. Hey Siri, remind me in 2 hours to get a new bandsaw blade. Oop. Yeah. Let's go pull this out of here and see what we can do about this oopsie I just did. I think I'm actually going to pull the bandsaw blade out and give it a good inspection. I know that there's a mechanism here. Let's go ahead and switch over here so I can share in my never having done a change of my bandsaw blade, or not doing it often enough, let's put it that way. But I can't remember how I'm supposed to do it. Anvil. There we go. We'll go ahead and stand in front of the anvil and demonstrate that I don't know what I'm doing. That way, when I lose a digit, everybody will see it happen. It seems to me like, yep, there it is. I knew there was something. There we go. Something I was forgetting. Just don't do it often enough. That's what she said. All right. Then we will do the ridiculous and try to repair the blade a little bit. Actually, think about it more. The smarter place probably to repair it is right there. Wow, it does not know how to focus on that. There we go. Demonstration at Quad State this year. Hey, you know, if somebody wants me to demo, I'm happy to do it. Again, it's a good, you know, I'll definitely be able to knock the I don't know what I'm doing demo out of the ballpark. I'm probably screwing up the kerf all over the place, but that's probably less important right now than will it actually turn. Yes, my turkey is not liking my striking the anvil. That's funny. Watching some armorers recently, I've picked up the fact that sometimes it's not about striking where the sheet metal is bent. It's about striking beside or off the anvil, near where the sheet metal is bent. And after all these things are is sharpened sheet metal. See all the ways I've abused this thing by not using it the way it's intended to be used. I need to be buying a bandsaw is what I need to be doing. All right. That looks like it shouldn't cause the machine to complain so much anymore. Hey, granddads! Yes, morning's still out here. You must be a little bit closer to me than the East Coast, I suppose. Or the rest of the crowd here. So we got another Rob. Is that what you're telling me? Granddad's is Rob. I'll see if I can keep that in my brain. So far, I've been doing pretty good with the few of you that use a moniker instead of your name. Let's see. Yes, Paul, it is cordless. About everything I have out here is cordless, except for the cameras and the Mac, because yeah, this is way far from the power source in my property, and so I run everything off of an EcoFlow. And yes, I will be happy to be a sponsor. There we go. Bring this back over here. Now, what I am thinking about doing is, if my wife will allow me to steal it, borrow it, or just see if this little one that I have here, it's an EcoFlow Delta. We just got a couple of EcoFlow Delta Pros that we'll use for RVing and for, let's try not to cut your hands, Jack. For RVing and for backup power source to the house. And you know, great investment as far as we're concerned. There we go. With the solar, of course. And I'm tempted to use one of those out here. I'm definitely going to relocate my my belt sander out here, at which point then I think I'd need to get a drill press, and I definitely need it for the generator. You know, you need power for the I mean, not generator, sorry. I need power for the air compressor, right? So that's a good point. I need to just make one of those as a guide. Bock beer time. I love Bock beer. All right. Set that there. Lock it in place. Let's give it a squeeze. That'll do. Again, we're not shooting for perfect, we're shooting for done. Oh, come on, stay there. Thank you. All right. I can tell I already put a bend in it. Sliding it back off of the bandsaw seems to be a particular challenge for me. Getting the cut in is not the hard part for me. Slow and steady wins the race. All right. Ah, my finger slipped off the trigger. I'm having fun with the finger. It's giving me the finger. All right. Finish this side, and then we got one more side to do. All right, last side. And there goes my finger. Perfect timing, though. It was done. All right. So, they're not the prettiest cuts. They're not even all the exact same angle. There's overcuts going on there. But let's see what it looks like when we give it a twist. This can go into the fire now. This can come over and stare at the fire for a minute. This can come out of the vise because I'm going to use it for twisting. And let's see, how much battery do I have left? Got 2 bars. I'm going to swap the battery out just so I can take it and get it charged up. Now let's see how long it takes me to remember that it's out, that it needs to go into my bag to get charged. Let's see, where can I put it that I'll remember it? Let's put it there. It's in my line of sight. It doesn't mean much, but we'll see. Close this down a bit. Come over and see what you guys fine folks have been all chit-chatting about while I get things hot. Nine spares. Yeah, I'd like to keep all my digits. I appreciate having them. Shane, demonstrator. Pennsylvania. Yeah, so you're saying good morning just because you just woke up. That's some expensive stout right there. I've got some good bottles in my chilling in my fridge. I've got 2 wine fridges full of the smaller one is just a drink fridge, and the other one is not full of wine. Let's just put it that way. Hydrophobic. Hey, I did remember to update my chat bot to say it was not Sundays at 9 a.m. Wait a minute, I did say a.m. Yeah, okay, good. Electrical work. Wire up a plug with a switch that you can plug into your power supply, then zip tie. You know what? Yeah, so I didn't want to zip tie the trigger. First off, that one doesn't need a power supply, right? It's a battery operated one, portable. But I didn't want to zip tie the trigger on purpose. I wanted it to be such that I could easily just turn it off, but with a knock, in case, indeed, I ended up challenging one of my digits. No, fire's not out. We're good. I keep charcoal in the bottom of it. I always start it up with charcoal. Einbecker. Okay, Einbecker. Let me make sure it's in my list of, let's see. I actually track all my beer because I am an enthusiast of the variety that's out there. There's so much more than Bud or Bud Light, and don't give me Coors. Ein, Becker, Meyerbach. Yep, there it is. Let's see if I've had it. I have. Yep, I enjoyed it. I'm trying to see where I had it. I had it. Where did I have it? Let's see. Details. Ah, the Berliner pub. Yeah, of course. We have a German pub, one city over. That's where I had it. Digits do not grow back. I am not an octopus. There's several varieties. Well, first off, if you're a smaller brewer, um, you're only going to turn out certain varieties during certain times of the year. But Germany prides itself in its beer manufacture, so it's only going to use the where. What tongs am I trying to use? They are where? There they are. Um, they're only going to use certain grains that are available seasonally um, for certain special releases. Okay, good. We're getting warm. I'm going to go ahead and make sure we got a little more airflow now and start really cranking it. Come on. There we go. The fire is definitely not out. The coal was out. Let's get the coal up, and or I should say the coke. But it's going to be just fine. Yeah, I'm not a much of a drinker myself. I will have a drink typically at any time I have a drink. In other words, I will have a beer. Yesterday was a heavy day. I had two. But one of them was a Guinness, so does that count? Yep. Get back under there. I need that charcoal to keep things lit. There we go. Thanks, Paul. I'd have to ask Ben about that. Ben, do you have any comment on the growing back digits that weren't there? Our little Nemo? All right. There we go. Now let's see what kind of twist we get out of this. There's that. There's this. There's where the excitement is. I have heard. Work down towards the bottom first. There we go. Come on. Get in there. There we go. That's so pretty. All right, I think I have to put it back in the fire again. I don't think I'm going to get the twist up here now. Yeah. Do. Grab it from the other side. That looks really good. I did get a couple of my scales aren't quite where I want them down at the bottom. We'll see what we can do about that in a little bit. Okay. There we go. Nice. I'm really hoping to be able to make the trip. One trip at a time. I got one down to see my grandkids. There we go. Now we'll get the heat we need. That looks right. Let's get it out of there. Yeah, that should do it. Get it back in here. There we go. There. And there we go. That's about perfect. Nice. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put the other end back in the fire again. All sorts of pokey, scaly fun. You see. Now that it's cooled just a hair. And I can look around it a little bit. I think I'm gonna give that just a hair bit more twist. Nope, and I'm not. It does not want to hang on there. Oh, there we go. Got it. All right. What I want to do is heat this up down here just a little bit so I can get this to move over. They got a little bit caught up, probably by me holding the way I was holding on to it. So, let's see what I can do. 123 days, 19 hours. My goodness, it's coming up fast. Blinded you with science, Ben? Where's your ideal place to break down? Yeah. My tongs, not the nicest pair of bolt jaw tongs. They do the trick. Got a little bit of wiggle room in the rivet, so either they have a perfect alignment or they don't. All right. Squirrel. All right. Let's see. Make sure we don't accidentally lock. Yep, we did good this time. Now, can I grab it where I need to be able to affect the change I want to change? Yep, I did. Cool, cool. Move that back just a hair. There we go. All right. Now we just heat her all up. Lay them flat. With the wacky wacky no marky marky. I might actually get this done this weekend. I don't think I'm going to make it to part 47. All right. Not if, but when. Guardian mechanic. Yeah, that poor truck of his. I look forward to this so much. It was, and mainly because work gets stressful, and I just need to be able to do something that has absolutely nothing to do about thinking about technology. At least modern technology. Give me back the old, good old, technology of working with your hands, working with fire. So, not working with deadlines and expectations being set upon you from folks without even discussing it with you. Things like that. Just sick of it sometimes. I'm sure everybody here has been there. And last week, didn't get to meet with y'all and enjoy some camaraderie and bang some steel. cut some steel, twist some steel, whatever. Because my father-in-law wasn't feeling his best, and we ended up having to take a bus ride. Bus is, folks know, is police and medical talk for that lovely room on wheels. And we took that bus ride to the ER. My wife actually did that with my father-in-law. He's doing much better now. It's just there you go. Make the beep beep sound. There we go. Of course, I still think I got a better focus than it did. But yeah, my father-in-law's home from the hospital, feeling better, but feeling weak. So he'll be doing some physical therapy here soon. But all that said, I'm just glad to be able to be out here and hanging out with y'all. All right. Wacky, wacky, no marky, marky time. I'll knock these points in. And they're all over the freaking place. It's not like they're, you know, well distributed or anything like that. But unless you're sitting there looking at it going, why isn't this perfect? Why are the scales not exactly where they're supposed to be? Blah, blah, blah. This looks pretty good. Looks like we got nice separate scales overlapping each other. Nice and organic. And will definitely be a distinctive looking piece where my wife hangs her pots. Now I just need to get a curlicue going by first making another S for the S hook. And look at that. My goodness, that really helps you understand just how much material goes into a scroll, right? That is a lot of material that goes into the S hook part of it and then back around into the curlicue. So that goes clear across my anvil 1.5 times. It's a good thing to remember. Plus a little bit because I have the taper there. So, and just because I never actually measured it, but I think it's 4 inches. Yeah, the face of the anvil is about 4 inches. Just under. It's actually 3 3/4 inches. So, something to remember. All right. But the first thing I have to do is work on getting this twist that way. In other words, the little curlicue needs to be facing up in the same direction as this one. So let's work on that. It won't take a lot of heat to get it right. Go ahead and open this back up. Well, yeah, we're going to open it up a little bit again. We're going to come back over here because that's where it's going to happen. Burning rawhide in the morning. Hallelujah. And after you're done with it, you just give it to the dogs and they enjoy it for a while. You've cooked their rawhide for them. And just kidding. That fancy camera work I got going on there. Oh, wow. Safety second, right there, Ben. There we go. Get that airflow going. It's real easy in this forge. They're just holes drilled into a pipe. All I have to do is make sure that that hole has not got something blocking it, and we're good. Clinker breaker not needed. There we go. Perfect. Go ahead and, how am I holding this? I'm going to hold it like that. Yep, like that. All right. Now, close this down. Give it the tiniest little twist in line. That's close enough. Now when I scroll it, there we go. That should be the last I need to use the vise for a little while. We can stare at the fire for a bit. Anvil. Almost done. We're almost to the wire wheel stage. All right. Go in here. That's fine, except this is where I'm going. Now you can see how tight it is. There's the tripod leg right in view. Uh-oh. Tall people, nothing but trouble. You short people just make work for us. That's all I gotta say. Adult stuff. Ick. Enjoy, Steven. Have a great rest of your weekend. Let's see if I burned it up. I did not burn it up. Yay. I didn't give it much air either on purpose for that. All right. Back to the rawhide. I was making it twist. Didn't mean to make it twist. There we go. Come on. We'll go ahead and finish that in the next bit, I think. I'm at the point now, Ben, which is the funny part. I'm not going to be more senior than my bosses. That'll never happen because I don't have the ethics to be somebody who dictates the lives of other people. It's also why I'll never be a rich man. I don't have the ethics to make the money, the big bucks off the backs of somebody else. I'm always going to be the somebody else. I just happen to choose a career where the somebody else gets paid well. But I am getting old enough where I recognize the truth of where some of this stuff comes from, and the fact that if a company has made mistakes in the past and now are trying to solve it on the backs of the people that are there now, working them to the bone and doing it. I literally worked, I know some of you folks love working 80-hour work weeks. I don't. That's not what I got in this career for. And some of you love doing that because you get paid more. I remember that. I had those days when I was younger. I don't get paid more. I just get to stay at work later. As far as I'm concerned, that's BS. Okay, there we go. And I'm getting to the point in my career now where I'm like, you don't like my attitude? Send me on my way. There are other people who will take me. So that's where my seniority comes in now. It's actual seniority, not was I at the job longer. I'm not a fit for your turn 'em and burn 'em environment. Well, maybe that's because your turn 'em and burn 'em environment sucks. Not because I do. That is done. We're going to go ahead and turn on the noisemaker, get it clean. Actually, yeah, we are. Put that away. Let's see what you guys have been saying to that. 18 with 42 years of experience. Hell yeah, Jurgen. Super 9. Good thing I have more. Yeah, let's see. What else was said? Go fix the wiring in the horse trailer before my wife starts pressuring me harder. Enjoy, Kevin. Have a great rest of your weekend. I miss 80-hour work weeks, now stuck at 40 hours a week, and I feel like the days won't end. You know, if I didn't actually have other things I like to do as well, maybe I'd feel that way. But when my 40 hours a week are filled with learn this new thing because nobody else knows it, now get stuck on trying to implement the new thing because it doesn't actually work the way they tell you it does, or it doesn't quite, what they told you doesn't quite fit in with the scenario you're dealing with. So now just invent something. That's where I get 40 hours is more than enough for me. I get stressed out, and I just need to be able to walk away from that. Go take care of my chickens. Go take care of my animals. And yeah, so Alexis, for me, I don't get paid anymore, or I might get a bonus of $20,000, but I would get, I can go get that bonus easy or more. Be honest, going back to Microsoft where nobody typically put in crazy hours. So, and I get unlimited PTO, Ben, which is a con done by a lot of companies these days, especially in the tech industry, because they know we'll just work our asses off and never actually take time. And then when you leave the company, you don't get paid out for your saved up vacation. So yeah, it doesn't work for us. So what I end up doing is just taking some of that paid off. That unlimited PTO. And they like to play on your sympathies for your team because, you've got a team that you care about. And I do. Actually, my best friend is one of my team members. So I sat with my best friend and my manager, who's a friend, in a con call all day working through problems until 9 o'clock at night. Friday. Date night, right? Damn good thing I'm not a dating, I'm not a young man trying to also have not just a career but a date life. Or more. I'll leave it at that. And the only reason I ended up stopping when I did, while they continued to work, I'm certain of it, is because I had to take care of my chickens. When it comes sunset, I have to go out and take care of my chickens. Period. One of my friends on one of the Slacks I'm in commented that I was really brave for posting how work sucks up on LinkedIn. My thoughts on that is, if you don't like the attitude I'm giving, figure out what's wrong and fix it. That looks so pretty. That's going to look great when I put a coating on it. There's some areas where I see imperfections all over it. You guys probably do too, but I'm pretty darned happy with it. All right, all cleaned up. We'll go ahead and set it up on top so it gets hot enough to melt wax on, but not hot enough to scale up again. Full-time loafer sounds great, Jeff. I don't think I'll ever be able to do it because I don't think I'll ever have enough retirement money, but we'll see. I got started in this career late. My first half of my career, I was making a quarter of what I'm making now. Or I should say, career history. The best I did, I should say, was making a quarter of what I'm making now, which I've only been making for the last... Well, what I'm making now is crazy compared to what I started. When I first moved here 10 years ago, I made half of a little better than half of what I'm making now, and and that was incredible to me. So my career progression has gone just fine. I can demonstrate my worth, but it means that my retirement didn't build up like I would have expected to. If what you were saying is what I had in my angle grinder was a flap disc, no, it's just a wire brush. Yeah, well, that's absolutely true, Jeff. So I'm not saying that life has improved significantly. Life has improved. I will give you that, because I now, instead of living in postage stamp property with a house that wasn't big enough, I live on you know um, 2.25 acres with my blacksmith shop out here, and the chickens and the turkeys and all the other animals. A big ass walnut tree that, when I'm not dealing with a drought, produces amazing walnuts that everybody loves. Plenty of fruit trees. Shade. Big old deck I can sit in the shade in during the heat of the summer. We're looking at the wrong place now. So I count so many blessings in my life right now. And chief among them, my wife, who's helped me make all this possible. Without her, I couldn't actually have made the move down here, much less had the career I've had. Down here, I should say up and across here. Moving from Orlando to Seattle is a huge move, so take care, Eric. All right, now it should be hot enough. Yep, it's hot enough. It's probably hot enough out here at the fringes. Yep. Yep. Just lay that right on the block there. Come on. Almost hit the floor. Feel free to drink. Get some of that wax down in the grooves so it doesn't rust from within. Or I should say the cuts. Try not to breathe too much of the smoke. Oof. Fresh air, or at least coal dust air. Go at it from this side. All right. This area is not hot enough. Fix that in a couple of moments. Such small material. There we go. That should do it. Set that aside. Wipe off the excess. Christina should love this. Oh, now it hit the floor. Thankfully, I got all the excess wax off already. There we go. That is an extra long curly Q pot hanger. I don't think that it's the most utilitarian of designs, considering how long it is, but you know, there it is. Nifty dragon scales. Go ahead and pull that off there. So, oh, my next project I've already got asked for is to create a, okay, let's see if I can describe this. You may already have one in your house. Let me just switch this. Smithy. I'm going to go over here and lean. Anyway, you may already have one of these in your house. If you have curtains and you wanted to be able to gather them together, gather a curtain panel together in the middle, there are these rings you get with a pin. So you pull some of the curtain through the ring, pin through there. Almost exactly like what you would see for a penannular brooch. So not like a fancy S-hook. That would work a bit differently. That would work too, because that would be two panels, right? You could have one panel going through one side of the S-hook, the other panel going through the other side of the S-hook. This is literally a closed ring. Unlike a penannular brooch, which is closed on one side and opens, let me see if I can get the right angle, opens and curves out on the other side so that a pin can be put on there and swing freely. This one is, the ones for your curtains are closed all the way around. Oh, this here. Yeah. A bag of pot. Absolutely. I mean, I do live in Washington State, so why not? So, but she asked me to make her a set of those. And I'm trying to decide what style I'll do. I will probably do some sort of twisty style, although it definitely will not be dragon scale, because that would just catch all over the curtains. And then the other question is, do I do it penannular brooch style, or do I see if I can pull off a forge weld? Yeah, very much. Yeah, they're the smallest ones. The small ones, very small ones. Yes, Ben, are just like the hair tie. Yep. So this is like the hair tie that are about this big and round, or let me think about this. Yeah, this big and round, and you pull your hair through it and you put the pin through. So absolutely just like that, except this is like this big, about 6 inches across. And I think the right material to pull it off is this flat stock here. I think it's a 1/4 inch flat by, let's see. No, 1/8 inch. No, I was right. 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch. Although it's not really, now that I look at it. Let's go to the other methodology as soon as I figure out what I did with it. Guess I need to clean my table because things are not where I thought I need to have them. I am my own worst enemy out here, so. Hey, look, brass brush. How the hell do my calipers... Oh, there they are, because they're underneath another thing. Found it. On. On. There we go. And then currently in millimeters, for those who care, looks like we're talking 12 millimeter. Oh, hold on. Zero that out. That didn't work out right. Let's try that again. Really? No, that can't be right either. Let's clean it off so I can actually read it. There we go. That makes more sense. 5 mil. That's what it is. 4.7 actually. 4.8. Let's just call it 5 mil. Inches. It's supposed to be 1/4 inch, but it's actually 0.2. So all of it's just wrong. But the point is, I think this is the right size material to work with. And it happens to be inch wide. 2.5 centimeters, 25 millimeters. So what I don't know is how much material it takes, right? Just like always. What amount of material does it take? Well, don't worry about it. We're going to start bending this thing this way. So against the 1 inch mass around, and figure it out. That's one design I can do. And that would be the one I would do to see if I can do a forge weld with it, a lap weld. And then clean that up. Another one would be to instead use square stock, give it some pretty twists, you know, back and forth, and do it penannular broach style. Then I don't have to worry about a forge weld. I just have to have it close up and be decorative with the scrolls at the end. So 2 different ways to work on this problem. And I think I'm going to do both of them, because I want to have the experience of trying to... I have to make more than one of these anyway. I want to see if I can actually do the forge weld or not. So, yep, that's still hot. Let's go put it over here. Not hot enough to catch a board on fire, but hot enough that wearing the glove was smart. Let's go here and start getting this fire going again. Put away the tongs. I won't need those for a little bit. I am so envious of all you folks out there that are able to make... I just got to show you. They're able to make, you know, cool tool holders and stands and stuff like that out of all the spare metal you guys must have laying around, while I'm over here making... Let me switch over. Making tool holders with the scrap wood that I find, and you know, stumps from downed trees on my property. You work with what you got, right? That's what I always said. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, I mean, I've done that before too. When I've made a barrette, I did it that way. I basically shaped it and then flattened it. In this case, I'm doing this, what I'm doing right now, just because I want to see, can I pull off a lap weld? And then I can put some sort of decorations on it or whatever. Just had some interesting ideas. The problem is I have no idea how much material I'm going to need to be able to do it, so let's leave that interesting idea for another time. The interesting idea is to take the flat stock and put twists in it and then start bending it around into the loop. I think that would look cool too. All right. Let's go over here, anvil. Let's go where I'm actually going to do the work. Let's see if I can actually start moving this. Let's pull back just enough. Nope, that's as much as it's going to go back. Let's do it this way then. All right. Come on. There we go. Let's get the next part hot. And if I can see the fire can see me. Oh, wait a minute. That's not that. That's the best response, John. You just ignore the bullies. That's what my mom always said. Bending over the horn is not easy. Never tried it. I always knew it would be a challenge. Making metal move in a way it didn't want to begin with. Not too bad though. That's a quarter of it. Let's keep on going. Take care, Paul. Garden gnome. That's right. If you can see the iron soak in the air. Yeah, I figured that's what I'll end up doing is end up beveling things, but I also think that right now, by hitting it where I do, I mean it would actually move it that way, without having to actually hit it over the horn. But by doing it this way, it will fatten up on the other side, but it'll also fatten up, I think, by just upsetting where I'm hitting it. So the one area that doesn't seem to want to respond at all, of course, is right at the end. And that's where the lap weld will be, so no big deal. Coming around. Depends on the isotope in the air there, right? Did someone say isotope? Says Alexis. I missed the last half of the show today, or of church today, so I'll end up having to watch the rest of it after this one. My wife came out. We had a turkey out of place. We had to fetch it. Normally I listen even if I can't actually chat during it. Okay, that bent too much there. Let's work on straightening that a little bit. There we go. The horn is an amazing tool that I did not understand before I started smithing. It is much more than just for bending things around. It's a surface that pushes back in nifty ways. All right. That's a little bit too big a circle. We're going to see if we can do something about that. Yep, turkey was on the run. It was actually out of the run. That's a good plan, John. I'll try that. Take care, Sean. Shane, have a great rest of your weekend. And let's see. I think my port is blocked. Let's fix that. There we go. There we go. It's a family-friendly show, Ben. There we go. Now, let's see if I can do what John just suggested, because we're getting there. I'm going to go ahead and heat the right spot up. All right, let's give that a whirl. That did the trick. That's got it coming around nice. I can ignore that spot for a little bit. Thank you, John. Too far. There we go. You have an almost filter, as in the filter kicks in, but not without talking about how your filter works. A macaque monkey. You think that would bring the viewer count up, huh? You know what's funny? I got to show you this. Let's see if I can find it. At the fairs I would do where I first ran into the group of folks that helped me learn the craft. Oh, where'd it go? I hung it up somewhere safe. And then I moved everything around to have more room in here. So that means now I can't find it. Well, poop. Oh, no, there it is. It wasn't in there at all. Now let's see if I can reach it. So at fair, whether there was a Highlands game or a Ren fair, I would end up hanging out with a group of folks that my wife introduced me to, friends of hers, now friends of mine, obviously, who did Renaissance reenactment, fighting in real armor with real weapons. And then, of course, the crafts that go along with it. And for, a little while, I didn't do any smithing. I just sat there and watched and soaked it all in. That's, something I do. If I watch something enough, I just kind of build an idea of how my muscles will have to act in doing the work. Then I go and validate it. And this thing's been outside where the spider's been all on it. But I became the guy that ran the bellows for and it was a double chambered. Well, first we had a single chambered, European style bellows. Then we had a double chambered bellows. And as such, my first forge apron was this apron. And you can see my title was Bellows Monkey. Forge apron to go over the kilt. Mainly because they weren't expensive kilts. They were not wool kilts. They were, probably nylon of some sort. And so, best not to let that stuff catch on fire from sparks coming off of the forge. So, needed an apron. And I was the bellows monkey. Well, dude, why don't you put that one up there on YouTube, and now you can have 1 million subscribers. All right, at this point, we're definitely ending up into a bigger and bigger scroll, which is not what I'm looking to do, so we have to tighten that up. I think I need to heat it in here, and then it should move just fine. Of course, I wasn't showing you very well at all at that point. You'll see it in the next round. Yeah, my whole goal is always to stay out of that whole fire bad situation. I'll stick with the fire good part. I'm going to cook up some Coke real quick here. Not that kind, Ben. The coal dust is fun to be able to put to use kind. We just stack it up on the side there, all wet and stuff, and let it coke up. It'll be ready for next time. There we go. There we go. Nothing like making Coke patties. Whoever it was that suggested that during a previous live stream, very awesome. Works great. All the Coke that I've worked with today came from doing that before. By the way, guys, have you been having that crackling when I'm hitting things? Let's do it like this. There we go. That's more like it. Bringing it on around. It isn't quite perfectly circular, but it's coming around. Get it? Get it? All right. That's right. Start sulfur. Burn off that sulfur. Cook up purdy. What's great about cooking the coal dust as wet down patties is it ends up clumped with the bituminous specifically. Won't say this for any other because I don't know a damn thing about any other. But the pea-sized gravel that I had before are always clumped up into these big cooked clumps anyway. It's just doing the exact same thing except with the intermediate step of having to burn off the water first. Probably doesn't hurt the cooking process at all, seeing how it seems to work just fine. A crack problem. Hey, I haven't shown my back to you guys. Pretty sure it's covered up. Yeah, I'm glad too, Rob. Ooh, jean jacket. That's a nice project for them. Actually got the metal hot enough to forge weld at that point, I think. All right. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, too much. Retreat, retreat. Actually, that's pretty good. That's coming along nice. All right. I have just a little bit more to do there. Nope, that closed up too much. Open it back up. There we go. All right, let's get it hot here so that this bends around. It's not a perfect circle. It's probably not even big enough. We'll deal with that. There's definitely more work to be done with this before I'm done. What time is it? It's quitting time. Dun, 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 dun. Anybody else had that whistle go off? That is the end of my allotted broadcast time. Ladies and gents, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. It is time for me to go and get cleaned up and find out what my wife has planned for me today. I assume that was encrusted pants there. Or encrusted pants. Is it encrusted? I think it's encrusted. Yeah. You can keep that jacket there, Ben. But it will be definitely from, yeah, there you go. Yabba dabba doo. You picked up what I was dropping there. I'll let you keep that as a fond memory of working with your kids. There, Ben. In the meantime, I hope everybody had a fun time here today. Yeah, if you did, go ahead and make the algorithm happy so that other Smiths find out about us and come hang out with us. And hope to see you again here next week. It's been a pleasure. And as always, love and light.